Alright guys, so it's finally time to review Happy Death Day to Me, which is a sequel to Happy Death Day that came out in 2017. And I'll quickly give my thoughts on Happy Death Day, the first one, and I did a review on this channel whenever it came out in 2017, and my quick thoughts on Happy Death Day, the first one, is that I loved it. I thought it was a very fun, very creative slasher, even though it's a bloodless slasher. It's a PG-13 slasher. But the characters, especially Jessica Roth's character Tree, really pulled me into that story and pulled me into caring about this character. And the humor was really fun, and really that main character really sold the first Happy Death Day to me. And I really love the first one. So going into Happy Death Day to me, I was just as excited because I thought, oh, I don't know if this will be as good as like the first one. But watching this one, honestly, I think I love this one just as much as the first one on first watch. It might change, but as of now, my opinion stands is that I think this is just as awesome as the first one. This is a different one in a lot of ways than the first one. Now, I'm going to try to be very spoiler-free because I don't want to really ruin this, but the one thing I'll say that a lot of people, it's going to turn off people immediately of this genre, I'm going to say that this really isn't that much of a horror movie. It's got horror things in it, but if you're looking for a horror film that is, I don't want to say gorier because the first one wasn't gory, but in terms of being, it's way less horror than what the last one was. And the last one was a horror comedy, and this is a horror comedy as well, but it's less so horror in this one. Now, that might turn a lot of horror fans off to this, but I feel like it's still definitely worth watching if you're a fan of the horror genre, because this is a horror comedy, but it is also a drama and a pseudo-science fiction movie, if that makes any sense. And again, I don't want to get into real spoilers, but this is a science fiction movie as well. And if you saw in the trailer for this movie, it describes like that Tree in a certain situation is brought back to dying again and again by the killer. But this time there is a different killer, and everything has changed, where she is living a different life before she gets killed. The day is different. Everything is different about her life. And I want to keep it spoiler-free on what's different. But the thing I love about this movie is they do this alternate thing where, like, it is her, she is living the day, but it's in a different, it's like in an alternate thing where, like, she is seeing different things happen that didn't happen normally whenever she kept dying. It's literally characters have changed. The killer's changed. It's not the same killer as the last one, which again is refreshing. So I love the fact that this character grows even more because Tree, in this new iteration of her dying, the day that she goes through, since it's different, she has things that make her life way better and things that make her life worse. So I love the fact that she kind of has to choose between, like, how am I going to, like, how is she going to make it through this different day, alternate day, because now everything has changed in terms of the day she keeps repeating. And she kind of wants to have it back to where it used to be, even though she doesn't want to keep dying at all. She wants this reality to be normal and not keep changing. And I like how it changed up to where every day it's a different set of things that happen as opposed to the first one. So yeah, she's dying over and over again, but I really do like this iteration of how they changed the day that she's going through before she gets killed. So I really love that. And I love how in the trailer you saw this, that yeah, she gets killed by the killer maybe once or twice, but honestly, a lot of the time, it's her just killing herself on purpose just to get through the day, because she knows she's gonna make it through the next day. And honestly, like in the trailer, it is one of the best standout moment in the movie is where she is literally, it shows like a set of different days where she just kills herself. And I don't want to ruin the way she offs herself, but honestly, there were a couple in the trailer, but honestly, it is one of the funniest scenes in the whole movie. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was awesome. And I also love how the first one had this character Tree who had a change in herself. Like, she was this horrible sorority girl at the beginning of the movie, and as she kept dying trying to figure out the killer's identity, she became a better person. She grew. She learned everything about her friends, about her family, and she grew in the first movie. And in this one, I love the fact that she grows again, but because the day is different that she keeps dying in, it's as opposed to the first one, so she learns even more. And I don't want to ruin that, but there is some flat out, honestly, genuinely emotional scenes because of how fantastic Jessica Roth is in this performance. And the thing that I don't want to mention, but there is a thing in this movie that just genuinely gave me a lot of emotion. I sat there like, wow, I love how this horror movie can give me emotion. Like, it actually, I felt so much for this character. She had a different arc than the last movie, and the things that she has to go through in this movie are genuinely touching and genuinely great, and I really loved it. And I love the comedy as well. The comedy was just as funny as the last one. All these characters are even more on screen, because the first movie, I guess I can argue saying that, like, it's more of Tree's story where she is delving into learning more about her friends and family while she's learning who the killer is when she keeps dying. In this one, she keeps dying again, but her friends, and including new people that become her friends as well that weren't in the last movie, this group of friends are helping her out throughout every day. So I really like that they involve the friends more as well. So I did enjoy that. And the killer reveal, again, this is spoiler free, but the killer reveal is fine. I totally get what they're going for, because, again, it's a different iteration of the day she keeps dying in, where the killer is different. So it's kind of like a ripple effect where, like, you see why this is the killer in the end, the reveal. And it was fine. It was fun. But honestly, the reveal of the killer is fine, but it's not like it matters. But I feel like they understand that. I feel like Christopher Landon understood that, like, it doesn't really matter, but it makes total logical sense who the new killer is in this movie. And I did enjoy the reveal. It's totally fine. But again, this movie just not a really big on horror, which I'm fine with, because this gave, again, fantastic characters, fantastic performances, fantastic emotional moments that genuinely got me, and genuine humor and such fun. It just was a really incredibly fun time with some great things about it. Like, the performances are great, and I really love Jessica Roth again, and she's incredible like she was in the last one, and she just keeps getting better and better. So I really loved Happy Death Day to You again. I thought that it was just as good as the last one for different reasons. And I love the fact too that this is a sequel to the first one, where again Tree keeps dying and getting killed. And you would have think that would get repetitious, but honestly it doesn't. Like, I never felt like, oh, this is getting stale, like she keeps dying. I never felt that. I always felt like it was interesting. They always changed it up every day she died. They always did something different, and I love how they didn't keep it the same. It never felt stale doing the exact same thing over again in two movies. I love the fact that both of these movies are not stale in any way in terms of repeating the same day over and over again. They always do something interesting in each day to make it different. So, man, I really love this movie. I thought it was awesome, and it really was so entertaining and so fun with such actual, genuine emotion and comedy that it really blew me away, surprisingly. I really love this movie, so that's my thoughts on Happy Death Day to You, spoiler free. I really wanted to talk about spoilers, but I can't, because I want you to go into this clean and see what I'm talking about, because there are some genuinely great moments in this movie that got me. So overall, Happy Death Day I really loved. Critics are kind of iffy about it. It's got mixed reviews, but I don't care what critics say. But I wanted to point that out, that, like, oh, critics and audiences are probably going to be mixed on it again, but I don't care. I love the shit out of it. I thought it was great like the last one. So yeah, I really loved Happy Death Day to You. Tell me down below what you think of Happy Death Day 2, and thank you guys so much for watching.